Over 10,000 YouTube views in the last 30 days. It's BMB Basic Training with
Wednesday,
CombatCounselor.
December 12th, 2012. I'm CombatCounselor, and this is BMB Basic Training. I apologize for not getting the series out on Sunday. You can probably tell that I have a little bit of a cold still, and I didn't sound too well, and I wasn't feeling much like putting the series together that particular day. So sorry about that, but I'm feeling a little bit better now and ready to talk about values. And I've been talking about values throughout the series. And values, I use the term stay the course when I'm talking about values and making a commitment to your values. Values are critical in body, mind, behavior therapy and in life. You probably noticed that the world has become a somewhat selfish place. I've noticed, and other people I've talked to seem to have noticed, that people in general, I'm talking about, not everybody, because there's a lot of very good people out there who are selfless and compassionate, but there are many people who are acting in a very selfish way, and I see it on a daily basis. And I act selfish sometimes. We all do. That's human nature. And I have well-defined values, but when your values are not well-defined, when confronted with a difficult situation or a difficult emotion or difficult thought or difficult, strange physical sensation, especially when we're confronted with a situation or a thought to do something, right? Choosing between good and bad, let's say. If you don't have clear values, the tendency is going to be to act selfish. Okay, it's going to be to act emotionally. That's the way humans are. That's why humans have evolved over tens of thousands of years, is because of self-preservation. Self-preservation is number one when it comes to survival, obviously. So if your values aren't clearly defined, I've talked about this before on a couple of occasions, if your values aren't clearly defined, when confronted with a difficult situation or a thought comes up in your mind that you think you might want to act on, and for example, like I've used in the past, well, I think I want to go do heroin, or I think I'm going to go want to rob a bank. I don't have any money, I can't pay the bills, I'm going to rob a bank. If your values are unclear or undefined, and various other resilience skills are impeded, you're going to go do heroin or you're going to go rob the bank. Simple as that. So values are extremely critical in not only my therapy and helping people to stay the course, but in life. And I use the tongue-in-cheek cliche sometimes, I'm ridding the world of selfish people one person at a time. That's really what I'm trying to do. If I can teach the skills that I've been talking about over the last few months to everybody, and I'm not perfect, okay? I'm not trying to say that I know everything and I'm a perfect person and you should do what I say. But I've found that it works in my life, and I've found that it works in other people's lives. And there's some very smart people that feel the same way. Eckhart Tolle being one, Stephen Hayes being another, Dr. Judith Beck and her father, Dr. Aaron Beck, some preeminent psychologists and psychiatrists, the Dalai Lama. Okay, there's several very smart people that feel the same way. And so if we're clear with our values are, and and we know them. And mine are, again, selflessness, loyalty, integrity, compassion, excellence, dignity, and respect. Okay, I know them cold. You just don't have to, can't just memorize them. You have to understand what they mean to you. Okay, so that when that situation, that thought comes up, you take a deep breath. Stay present. All right, bring yourself in the present moment. And say, okay, am I going to act on that thought, or am I going to act in accordance with my values? All right, am I going to do this in this situation, or do my values tell me to do something else? And hopefully you'll make the right choice most of the time. Sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we blunder. We're humans, and I've faltered. We all do. I don't know a perfect person in the world. And I doubt if I'll ever meet one. So what I want to do today is I put together a website, and it's for you and for my clients, and so it's password protected, so please don't tell anybody. Shh, don't give them the password. But I put this website together to help you define your values, and it's actually fairly simple. You should be able to go through and do this in 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes at the very most, but it's fairly simple. And so I'm going to walk you through that right now, and then I'll come back and say a few last words. So you want to go to www.kccbt, that says in Kansas City Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, kccbt.com /V as in Victor 3 V3 .html. Okay, and it's right down here on the screen. Okay, so go ahead and go to that web page, and I'll give you a couple seconds to get there, and you can also pause this if you want and come back to it, and I'll talk to you in a few minutes. Alright, so now you should be on the web page, the kccbt.com /v3.html. The password is values3. That's lowercase VALUES and the number 3, and then hit enter. And it should bring you up to a screen that has a world up at the top, our Earth with the word values3, values cubed across the top, and a couple hands. And CombatCounselor values clarification exercise. So if you see that, you're on the right page. In step 1, actually I'm developing my own values clarification program and application. This is a good tool. I kind of brought this together using another website that's a free website, and it's a pretty good website, but I think I can fine-tune it and do a little better myself, so I'm working on that. So, but this is a great process, and I think you'll find it handy, and you will be able to define your values. So if you look down, there's a blue bar in step 1. It says values clarification exercise. What you're going to do is you're going to click on that, and don't do it now, because I'm going to take you through the entire process, and then you can come back and do it later. But click on that bar. It's going to take you to this other website, and you're going to have a list of 100 or 150 values: empathy, altruism, integrity, compassion, excellence, selflessness, honesty, you know, every kind of value you can imagine. Excuse me. And what you're going to do is click on the values, and you can click on as many as you like that ring true for you. Is that one of your values? Is that something that's important to you? Is that something that can drive your life? And you can pick as many as you want. All right. The next step in that process, it'll take you to the next page once you hit submit, and it's going to show you all the values you selected, and it's going to tell you that if you have 14 values or 12 values, you're going to have 144 different decisions to make or whatever. So the more values that you selected, the more choices you're going to have in the next step, because in the next step you're going to compare two values. Alright, so you're basically going to compare each value to each other value, and so obviously the more values you selected in step one, the more choices you're going to have to make in the next step. So it gives you the opportunity at that point to whittle down the list. And for example, if you picked honesty and integrity, right? To me, if you have integrity, that's one of your values, honesty is a given, because someone with integrity is going to be telling the truth all the time. So you might be able to just say, okay, well, get rid of honesty and keep integrity. It's up to you. You can spend as much time on it as you want, so pick as many values as you like, but just remember it's going to take you longer in the next step if you have more values. And so in the next step, again, you're going to see two values, empathy or integrity. Alright, and you're going to click actually on the word, okay, integrity, and then it's going to say integrity or compassion, and which one's more important? Okay, integrity. Compassion or exercise? Compassion. Okay, so you're going to go through that whole process until you've actually selected each word over every other word or value, right? And when you're done with that, it's going to give you a list of maybe 7 or 8 values prioritized, okay, based on the decisions that you made. It's going to say, okay, here's your number 1 value, this had so many votes, number 2 value, number 3 value, etc. Okay, what I want you to do is at that point is take a screenshot of that screen, write your values down, put them down in writing somewhere, and then I want you to come back to this website, kccbtv3.html. Okay, so once you have your 7 or 8 values from the other site, step 2 is to whittle down your list to 6 values. 6 is an important number because it's an easy number to remember, and I have some other reasons for why 6 is a good number. You can have 5 or you can have 7. It's not critical, but 6 is, I think, is a good number to have. It works out well for many different reasons. And I want you to go over that list, and I want you to spend some time summarizing what those things, what those values mean to you. I said get the dictionary out, define them, give them your definition of what that value means to you. Okay, and the next step is to prioritize that list once again, and then again you can do that by asking yourself, if I only had one value, if I could only have one value in life, what would that value be? And then just go through that process down the list. You'll end up with eventually a list of 6 values. Finally, I want you to ask yourself, within the last 30 days, how have I honored or acted in accordance with these values? And then rate each value on a scale between 1 and 10, 1 being never and 10 being always. Okay, and you're probably not going to have many 1s or 10s, but you should have some numbers somewhere in the middle, indicating the extent to which that core value has been present in your life over the last 30 days. Okay, remember that's important, the last 30 days. When those ratings are low, like 1, 2, 3, 4, a low number, that'll give you the opportunity to focus on that core value and spend some time working on that and paying attention and focusing on that value over the next week or next 30 days. Remember, these values can change with time. They're not static. They're not set in concrete. You may have these same values for the rest of your life, and that's great. Or as time goes on, you may find yourself having changing values, and that's okay. But always know what they are, right? Always have them memorized. Always know what they mean to you, so when the time comes to act, you'll know what to do. Step 3, if you scroll down the page, now that you have your 6 core values, and you see my 6 listed there: selflessness, loyalty, integrity, compassion, excellence, and dignity. I add respect, because dignity and respect kind of go together to me. But if you noticed in that list, if you look at the first letter of those 6 words, it spells out the word sliced. Okay? And so that makes it real easy for me to remember my values. Okay? So what I want you to do is mix and match. Look at your values. You can use the first letter, you can use the last letter, or you can use any system you want to come up with some kind of acronym or some kind of way to make it easier to remember those values, to memorize those values. So play with the list of 6 a little bit, and come up with a good acronym, a good way of remembering what those 6 values are. Once you have that list memorized, then I want you to spend time every day focusing on your values when you have a thought or situation, and just reflecting on them throughout the day, and what they mean to you. Okay, you might do that when you meditate. You might do that when you have some quiet time. But if you spend time focusing on your values, when the time comes in a critical situation, you're going to act with integrity, or you're going to act with honor, or you're going to act with compassion, or you're going to act with dignity and respect, rather than selfishly. Does that make sense? Step 4, I just again want to emphasize I'm going to be adding to this page is in coming weeks, and you'll be seeing some things that are going to be quite exciting. And I'm not going to talk much about it now, but there's going to be some pretty cool things on here, and I'm going to offer you some ways to help remind you of your values on a daily basis. So that's the website. So when the video is done, when this episode's over, go ahead and go back to it, or at your leisure, come back to the website and complete the exercise. Go through the 4 steps, and you're going to be just fine. It's going to take you right through it, and it shouldn't take more than 15 to 30 minutes most. Alright, well, now that you have your 6 values, or you should have your 6 values, I want you to understand them. I want you to look at them throughout the week. Write them down. Put them on a card, like I talked about on the website. Remind yourself of them throughout the day on a daily basis, and take some time to do the exercise I discussed also on the website, where you clearly define your values and what they mean to you, not like a Merriam-Webster dictionary definition, but your definition, what they mean to you, and think about some ways you may be able to utilize those values in certain situations relating to your family, relating to friends, spirituality, community, several areas, all the areas of your life. Try and think of examples so that when those situations come up, you can act in accordance with your values. Next week we're going to talk a little bit about commitment, and that'll complete basically body, mind, behavior therapy. Is the last portion of it is on commitment, and then we'll kind of wrap things all up and pull it all together for you. So thanks for watching. Again, I apologize for being late, but as you can tell, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I really appreciate the viewership. Last time I checked, we had 3,247 views on episode 12, and that was in just a little over a week. So thank you all for watching, and spread the word, get the word out, and don't forget to stay present, be resilient, and stay the course. I'm Chris Sorrentino, Combat Counselor, out.